Welcome to stage 2 of the tour of Oman. Just by the sea of Oman, indeed, just by the coast, and a little bit inland today. The start, Fanja in Bidbid, yes, destination Al Bustan on the coastline. Yes, passing by many oases, as you can see along the way. Fortified settlements there have been. There's been a lot of fighting over land and rights and water in particular over the years. Today, it's about the battle on the road. 146 kilometres in total. Check that out for an oasis. Amazing. Lots of underground aquifers here, the water collecting off the hills and, yes, supplying the greenery, supplying the excitement today, the likes of Cadell Evans. And as you can see, a nice and relaxed atmosphere. Temperatures around about 30 Celsius, which is a very pleasant Central European summer. Bradley Wiggins, yes, will be dressed properly before the off. Just smarting a little bit, I think, after getting over a minute, or losing over a minute in the opening stage of this tour. And Cottador, always looking slightly bashful when the cameras are around. Anything but for that man wearing the combativity jersey. Yes, Robbie Traxel yesterday was an absolute powerhouse. No doubt about one of the favourites starting off today has to be Peter Sagan. He did win tomorrow's stage, which is far more lumpy last year. But there's a real profile to today as well, particularly towards the end. Bit of a kick, a couple of climbs to be dealt with, 2 intermediate sprints as well along the way, and the rollout. Very, very pleasant conditions. The wind not really high at all, and as yesterday, unexpected to play a part. Or not expected to. Just look at the fronds of the palms here, absolutely dead still in the wind. Time then to roll out for a day's racing. A lot of the riders saying it could be a more pleasant start to the year. And although it's only the 4th Tour of Oman, yes, very much set, I think, in the calendar as far as mines are concerned. Much more predictable in terms of the weather as well. And time for the great and the good to just test how much their winter rest up, or indeed their winter preparations, have indeed paid dividends or not. What is the deficit? Big question for a lot of riders here. Tom Bonan is back from surgery on his elbow. We mentioned it yesterday. Looking extremely good. And indeed in stage 1, he got close in 5th place. Marcel Kittel in the red leader's jersey towards the front. And already Bardiani Valvole deciding to test everyone, dragging a teammate with him by the looks of things. And indeed 5 or 6 riders just breaking off the nose here. Well, Kittel's team more than capable of turning on the gas when they need to. Argus Shimano at the front, but this is a lively little start here. How successful it'll be remains to be seen. Early days and a long old way to go as well. And just a kick up of pace from the main chasing pack here. And this ultimately will be doomed. So just a brief on what we've got today. First intermediate sprint. Peaking out at 412 metres, which immediately tells you that this is far different topography to Qatar, which started off our Middle East sojourn, if you like. Yes, maximum height in Qatar, I think, was 85 metres above sea level. So very flat topography. Anything but here in Oman. And the efforts of Argus Shimano doing, or paying dividends. This tour being well fated, incidentally. All the school children being given the day off to cheer it through, and doing so roundly when the heat of the day is more or less past. And first escape then wound in all together, but at speed and really strung out on some of this rising and falling terrain here. First intermediate sprint, incidentally, as we have another hit and hoper out front, is on a testy little rise. And as if by magic, he hasn't got the combativity jersey for nothing. The white, red and green sort of polka dots on it. We have Bobby Traxel, and this time he's dragged along with him Tomohiro Kinoshita, another from the Japanese national team. So the pair of them stretching their legs here, and doesn't look like anyone's minded to wind them back in here. Olga Shimano not pacing up, and I think they may well let these guys go, especially as Traxel likely to carry a little bit of fatigue after his efforts yesterday. He's got that jersey though, and maybe that's what he's aiming for here. Another ally from the Japanese national team along with him. Uchima yesterday, Kinoshita today. Well, the squeals tell you that the lead is coming through. Kittel, who did a super job yesterday, had a mixed season last year, but certainly delivered on the sprint line. And indeed, there he is, wearing number 71 and the red leader's jersey, dead centre of your screen. Alberto Contador just drifting in from the left-hand side of your picture there. Spinning up nicely. Never carries any excess baggage. Contador. Traxel, you feel, may have a bit of baggage here in Kinoshita. Relaying well, though. And absolutely no hurry at all from those behind. And so, as we approach the first sprint, the gap 5 minutes and 40 back to the chasers here. That's quite a margin. And just rolling through, and it is Bobby Traxel that takes it. So Champion Systems doing another great job courtesy of this man. Meanwhile, back in the pack, Cannondale doing some work, presumably thinking about Sagan a little bit later on, but August Shimano as well with the leader's jersey. Always wanted to stay in a safe place, and it's interesting, Saxo Tinkoff also joining the party today. Not really as focused as it possibly should be if Contador is going to shine, but we'll see towards the end what he's got. Well, we announced this yesterday as a bit of a day for the classicists, so expect some big names to come to the fore late on, provided of course that these two get brought back. Well, they've got a big challenge, and that is the first climb of the day. Not an easy one. In fact, it's the most focused of both of the climbs, and these guys have been putting in a lot of effort here. When you're only relaying as two riders, it takes a toll very, very quickly. Although, that said, Bobby Traxel did this yesterday, and he's still out for more punishment by the looks of things. Well, if he carries on this much longer, he's going to claim that jersey for keeps. Sipalat. Now, this is an old settlement, but there's very much a new look to that fort. Well, there's not a great deal of erosion or weathering in this part of the world, but it does look brand new. As renewed vigour to the peloton here as they come into town. Just stretching out ever so slightly. Take your vantage points where you can. There's plenty here in Oman. It really is one for hikers and mountaineers. All the settlements generally tend to be in the valleys. And where there are vales, there are obviously travails as well if you're going to go over these hills. And it's the first climb of the day coming up. That's not it, incidentally. Just passing over one of the highways here, but you can see just how it starts to roll just a little bit as we get into the foothills and head towards some of those proper climbs. Nothing too focused today. Nice to see Philippe Gilbert, the world champion, just rolling through and looking happy. Very conversational within the main pack, incidentally. So we've got a brief hiatus as we stand out at the head of the course. These two still just time trialing themselves at the moment. Traxel, 31 years of age these days. Had some great results in his career. A couple of years ago, the Kern-Brussels-Kern. And yes, regular podium player on some of the lesser events, such as the Étoile Bazèche. Nonetheless, doing a great job here. And so our chance to take a break as hostilities seem to be, for the time being at least, set. Chance then to get inside one of these castles, a more ancient one incidentally, and find out just what life was like indoors.
We are here in Jibrin Castle, which is built by Imam Bil'Arab bin Sultan al-Ya'rabi. In 17th century, Portuguese came to Oman. Omani people built all these forts and castles to defend themselves. Jibrin Castle also, they use it also for defense. And this is one of the things we are using for defense for Jibrin. We'll visit inside. This is the door of the castle, which is built by very strong wood. The type of the wood used from teak wood, and they use it also for defense too. In this part of the castle, we are going to see the phallic system, which is the water running through the Jibrin Castle. So the water, we can use it for the multi-purpose, like a fresh, to keep the place cold and fresh. So this is a stage, so it can stop the enemy to come through the system phallic inside the castle. But the water is used here for the drinking and cooking. And in case if there is any enemy coming outside of the fort, so they can, if they are succeed to block the water to come through the castle, people, they can use the well here for cooking. In front of the doors, we are going to see the second technique for defense, to throw the hot juice of date to the enemy to burn them. In this room, one of the big room in this castle, which is so beautiful. It have one of Omani article or treasure of Omani, old Omani treasure. This is one of the technique to defense and for the castle. So we are watching the enemy from here, and we can feel the enemy by the hot juice date.
Hot juice of death. Don't like the sound of that. Built in 1675 by Imam Bil'Arab. He did a good job. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. Well, some of these lumps are turning out to be a real test, and that climb that we were mentioning to you just a little bit earlier on today, taking a bit of a toll when it came to Bobby Traxel and Kinoshita, enjoying a 1 minute and 15 advantage at this point, but that climb looming. The maximum break, incidentally, had gone out to 6 minutes and 25, so they'd done a good job, but as they headed towards Muscat, into a bit of a headwind, they managed to just hold the advantage for a while, but ultimately it was going to take a toll. And look at this. Goodness me, that is a real effort. And after his efforts yesterday, Bobby Traxel was the first of these pair just to start to fade, I'm afraid to tell you. And yes, the main bunch starting to think about the remainder of the day, and they were not holding back at all. Great wide shot here for you, and here come the pack right now, still together at this point and doing a job. Kinoshita then deciding that this day, at least for now, is not over for him. Bobby Traxel, after his efforts yesterday, just edging back into the main pack. But Kinoshita also looking doomed on the day, but a good effort by him. So sort yourselves out time as far as the pack are concerned. All bunched and may well carry over the top here. Somebody surely is going to have some ambition to go for it. And it's Paul Voss from Netap Endura that decides to stretch his legs. It's a bit of a cyclocrosser, this boy. Fifth in the Paris Bourges last year, and more than capable of doing a job. And look at that, proper bridge. Still with fresher legs of Well, the two compared to Kinoshita, obviously. And a little bit of broken highway here, nothing too serious. They've repaired the edges just for this event to come back through. So no testy gravel or lumpy stuff to be dealt with. And Voss with another kick here. Well, Bradley Wiggins may well have got bruised in stage one, and he's just trying to stretch out his climbing legs here. And up front, Sky, both he and Peter Kenner, incidentally, getting themselves into position. Peter Kenner, another great son of the Isle of Man, 23 years of age. Himrea climb then, dealt with. And Voss taking that one. And a swift descent, as you can see. And it was indeed Peter Kenner and Bradley Wiggins that rolled through after Voss. So second intermediate sprint to come up. The sprints only carrying bonifications, don't forget. Bonus seconds, 3, 2 and 1 for those across the line. And for those thinking the long game in this 6-stage tour of Oman, possibly a big benefit to pick it up. Just look at this. It's a real roller coaster of a road, this. Reminds me of parts of Derbyshire. Obviously very different in terms of temperature, but absolutely beautiful road. A real pleasure to see the riders sailing through this. Sort of thing you'd enjoy on a Sunday afternoon. Fabulous. Especially if the weather's like this. So bunching up front and starting to just show their intentions today, perhaps. Radio Shack thinking about Cancellara. He's been off colour last couple of weeks. Getting back on form, I'll be bound, but hasn't shone too brightly just yet. We'll see. But this sort of rolling terrain as well, where you can just kind of hide as well if you are out front. Maybe suiting those with ideals on going for it today. Still no great sign of Philippe Gilbert, incidentally, along the way. A lot of riders just riding themselves into what is going to be a very busy season, and a lot of it you'll be able to see, of course, on Eurosport. Great theatre, this. The highways they've built, absolutely beautifully done. Sawn through quite a few mountains, though, to do it. Look at this for a bit of modern excavation. And these guys, well, to use the metaphor, got to dig deep today, and indeed starting to do so now. Powering up and stringing out along the highway. Nice, very, very quick rolling surface, this, incidentally. No need to have an over-grippy road, which we're used to in Northern Europe, a loud road indeed, which offers you a bit more grip when it's wet. Well, we don't have those kind of days here, and the surface is a quick one. 10 to go then. And the pace on the rise. Second sprint to be rolled through at 135.5 kilometers, and then the last climb of the day up Al Jissa before heading to our destination of Al Bustan on the coast. And Di Corrado decides to kick off here. Tempting anyone? Absolutely. Nocentini decides to join him, and it draws some others here. Contador never one to hang about, especially when the opportunity tests him or offers itself. Is he behind his teammate? We'll see. Jesus Hernandez looking for his man. Need any help? Look at that. Well, doing a cheeky one on the right-hand side of the road. Good work. Well animated by Hernandez. What can Contador do here? Well, quite a bit. Early season, it seems. Good stretch for him. Always good to see not only individual efforts here, but how teams are just starting to bed into working collectively as well. And this is a good push here. high speed on the descent. Contador and Nocentini taking a lazy right-hander here, but at pace. Giving it a go at the front. And not to be left alone. And Peter Sagan in his familiar descending style. Also joining the fray here. Well, he's a dangerous man to have around you. And we've got a quality kind of break out front here. In fact, it is that. You can see some gaps, and it's all starting to fracture up just behind them here. And Sagan, well, he's bridged over beautifully. Is he going to turn on the taps here? Big checks over shoulders just to see how much of a cushion they've actually got. Well, if you're going to do it, you better make it soon. Two of the Leopard boys here. Galopin involved, and it's breaking down. The pace is up, and there Sagan starts to think about it. Well, woe betide anybody who's in his way here. Does start the season very well. How will he go this time by? Won a stage here last year, don't forget. That's tomorrow. We're expecting that to have his name on it. Well, right now, he looks the paciest of all of them. He's been able to change that pace again and again. Galopin then with Nibali. There's Bradley Wiggins. Had a go earlier on today in that climb of Al Hamraya. And that's Martin Elmiger as well. Good trio, this. And in fact, they've managed to pull themselves away from Sagan. But look at that, he's suddenly on a charge here of distance. This is Rocket Man in action. I don't know whether he was looking for the motorcycle. I don't think he needs that kind of help. But here we go. This trio up front are about to be joined. And here he is. And Sagan, is he going to sail by? Yes, exactly, that's what he does. Super work. Well, doing it on this uphill section as well. Sagan showing his strength. Well, it's brought him so many plaudits, and that was amazing. Well, he retrieved that gap on that trio from some distance and just sailed by them, and there is no catching this man now. This is a definitive gap with 500 meters to go, and Sagan is going to take this. Goodness me. Well, Nibali, Elmiger and Galopin are going to have to fight over the spoils here. But it's only going to be for second place. Look at that. What's he saying? I like dancing with big people? No, that's my shirt, and I love it. The big thumbs up. And just behind, Galopin, Elmiger, Nibali. That's how they come across the line. Stuybar next up. Goodness me, it was quick across the line. Chris Froome, Bandiera, I think. And I think Impey also getting in the top 10 there. We'll get confirmation of that in just a few moments' time. Peter Sagan opens his account, and in so doing, incidentally, takes the leader's jersey. That was impressive. He had a 5-second gap on Tony Galopin, Martin Elmiger, and Vincenzo Nibali as he crossed the line. Confirmation, Chris Froome finishing in 6th place there, just behind Zdeněk Stuybar. Sorry I failed to mention him. There's our winner. What's he got to say?
Yeah, I'm very glad, very happy for this day because it's first win, and now I know it's I am in maybe my condition is grow up, and now I am a little bit easy. Or
I think he means stress-free, pressure off with an opening season victory. Why not? Sagan then is our overall leader. Galopin, nearest man to him. And courtesy of his efforts yesterday and today, Marcel Kittel stays or keeps a jersey. It happens to be the points classification. 1 point clear of Peter Sagan. And, well, we know tomorrow's stage suits Sagan very well indeed. He won it last year. Goodness me. How will he go? Oh, and Bobby Traxel gets the combativity jersey yet again with that sort of, hi mum, I've got a jersey look on his face. Fantastic. We'll see if he manages to do it again tomorrow. Hope you can join us once more. I'm Carlton Kirby. We look forward to stage 3 of the Tour of Oman. And we'll leave you with a little bit of relaxation indoors once again. See you tomorrow.